to our God in prayer.
Amen. Thank you, Lord Jesus.
O holy and everlasting God, our Father.
Yeah.
We give your name praise and glory.
Thank you.
Allowing us to be in your house of worship just one more time. Father God, you did not have to allow us to be here.
God have mercy.
But God, you kept us.
Yes, you did.
And you touched us with your finger of love.
Yeah.
And God, now we thank you that the four edges of our board, the four edges of our bed, have become the four edges of our cooling board. God, you've allowed us to see a brand new day.
Yes, sir.
So God, now I ask that you would anoint me from the crown of my head to the sole of my feet. That, God, now your people need to hear from you. God, I need to hear from you. God, I have reviewed this sermon all week. And God, now you can still do something miraculous. I pray now, oh God, that this word will go forth with power. And that your word will not return void. This is our prayer. In Jesus' name. Amen. Certainly we give God praise for that. To be in the house of God one more time. To your pastor,
God bless you.
Reverend McElvin Craig, we thank God for him and for his leadership of the people of God. Thank you so much for having me back here. Last year I came, and I thank you for giving me an opportunity to give we celebrate the youth on today and give God praise for you, to my family who is here, my Aunt Patricia and my mother, my cousin Courtney. Thank God for them and for their presence. And we bring you greetings from the Greater Fellowship Missionary Baptist Church. Our pastor is the Reverend James Wendell Brunson. Amen. I'm not going to hold you too long, but I would kindly ask if you would turn with me to the Gospel of Mark, the 10th chapter. And I want to begin our reading at verse 46 and conclude with verse 52. And if you are physically able, I'm going to ask if you would please stand out of reverence and respect of the hearing of the reading of this gospel word. Once again found in the Gospel of Mark, the 10th chapter. We will begin our reading at verse 46 and conclude with verse 52. And I will be reading from the New International Version of God's Holy Word. If you have it, indicate by shouting amen. Hear now what the writer says. Then they came to Jericho as Jesus and his disciples, together with a large crowd, were leaving the city. A blind man, Bartimaeus, which means son of Timaeus, was sitting by the roadside begging. When he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to shout, Jesus, son of David, have mercy on me. Many rebuked him and told him to be quiet. But he shouted all the more, Son of David, have mercy on me. Jesus stopped and said, call him. So they called to the blind man, cheer up, on your feet, he's calling you. Throwing his cloak aside, he jumped to his feet and came to Jesus. What do you want me to do for you? Jesus asked him. The blind man said, Rabbi, I want to see. Go, said Jesus, your faith has healed you. Immediately, he received his sight and followed Jesus along the road. Amen. From our good and gracious God. For the time that is ours to share together today, I wish to converse with you on the subject, turn down for what? Turn down for what? All right. The Gospel of Mark is a very fast-paced gospel. So it is possible that while reading the Gospel of Mark, you could finish reading one chapter and move on to the next chapter. And 2 or 3 months or even a year might have passed in a matter of chapters and verses. Out of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Mark writes the shortest gospel account of Jesus Christ, which is done in 16 chapters. Another unique thing about Mark, I suppose, is that he is writing to a Gentile audience.
Yeah.
The reason why this is unique is because the Gentiles are not considered to be good people.
Yeah.
Right.
They're looked down upon, and they're looked on as outcasts. They're looked on as people who don't have much meaning in the Greco-Roman world. And even though people had these views about the Gentiles, in particular Jewish people, Mark still writes to them because they still have rights to the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Yes.
And I believe that what Jesus would have us understand is that he did not just come for a
That's
specific
right.
people,
All right.
That's right.
All
but
right.
Jesus came for everybody.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
And Jesus has the power to save anybody who
Yeah.
he wants to save. And we have no
Yes.
right and we do not have the authority
Come
to
on.
tell anybody that they do not have the opportunity to come
Yes.
to Jesus
Yes.
Christ. But I would submit to you on this morning that all are welcome to come to
Yes.
Christ.
Yeah.
All have the opportunity to be saved.
Yeah.
All have the opportunity to
Yes,
come
sir.
and be washed in the blood of the
Yeah.
Lamb. And
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
encourage some young person in here, somebody might have told you that you were not worthy of coming to church, you were not worthy of coming to Christ. But I read a portion of scripture in John chapter 3 and verse 16, and it goes a little something like this. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. I may not be perfect, but I'm working towards perfection. I don't have it like you have it, but certainly God is more than able to wash me off. And I'm talking to just one somebody in here who knows that when people tried to block you from coming to Christ, they told you that you weren't worthy, you kept on pressing your way, because everybody has the opportunity to be saved by Jesus Christ. You might have done something in your past, you might have said something wrong, but Jesus can still clean you up.
Yes, he
He can
can.
still wash you up on the
Yeah,
inside of you.
yeah.
I'm looking at some folk who can testify that he has come into my life and he has saved me, he has redeemed me, and I have been washed in the blood of the Lamb. I may not be your favorite, but I'm his favorite. You may not like me, but I'm saved, I'm sanctified, filled with the Holy Spirit, I'm fire baptized, and I'm running for my life. That Jesus has saved me regardless of what other people think. The theme of Mark's gospel is that Jesus is a suffering servant and portrays Jesus as a man of action, divinely capable of healing the sick, controlling nature, and most of all, battling the powers of Satan. The abasement of Jesus, beloved, pictures, or the abasement of Jesus is what his disciples should pursue. That whoever of you will be great among you shall be your minister. And whosoever of you will be chiefest of all shall be, must be, and needs to be servant of all. This teaches us that no one is greater than anybody in the body of Christ. Because in Jesus Christ we are all the same, and only he is greater. And our title does not give us the right to look down our nose at people. I don't care if you're the vice president of Usher Board number 2. I don't care if you're the pastor, the deacon, the trustee. I don't care what your office might be. We do not have the right to think that we are better than anybody else. Because if it had not been for God, we would not be in the position in which we find ourselves. And I want to talk to some young person in here. You might have been looked down on, but I want to tell you that in Jesus, we all have sinned and fallen short of his glory. So it does not matter who you are. It does not matter what you are. You are not better than anybody else, and you are not less than anybody else. Because the cross makes us all the same. Jesus' love makes us all equal. So regardless of whether I'm in the pulpit or in the back pew, I am somebody in there. The same God who will put us on the mountaintop is the very same God who will put us back in the valley. We did not get here on our own, but Jesus was carrying us. Jesus was making a way for us. Am I talking to somebody in here who can testify? Had it not been for him, I would not be in the place where I am right now. Our topic today, Turn Down for What, is the name of a very well-known song, especially amongst us young people, written by DJ Snake and Lil Jon. And if you watch the music video, you will see that in the beginning, there is a man who is dancing on the roof. And because he is so hyped up in dancing, he literally goes through the roof into a girl's apartment. So she tries to get him to leave the apartment. And the more she tried to get him to leave, the more he kept on dancing and dancing and dancing. And so she thought, well, if you can't beat him, join him. And so she ends up dancing. And then those two both fall into the next apartment. And the same thing happens into every apartment until they're all asleep at the end with the police coming in to investigate the situation. Just like in our text today, no, we don't see a man jumping on the roof, but we do see a man who is hyped up and receiving his sight. We do see a man who is in desperate need of his vision. And beloved, I have some news for you. He just won't turn down.
Come on!
In our text, there are simply 4 reasons why Bartimaeus didn't turn down and why we shouldn't turn down.
Come on, bring it up!
Reason 1, people forsake us.
Yeah.
The text says in verse 46 that they came to Jericho as Jesus and his disciples, together with the large crowd, were leaving the city. A blind man, Bartimaeus, which means son of Timaeus, was sitting by the roadside begging. Whenever you see Bar in front of a name, it is making reference to the father of that individual. So the man in our text is only known by who his father is, and his father has now left him by the roadside begging. Now this only leaves me with one question. What kind of a real father would leave their blind son on the roadside of Jericho? There are 2 things wrong with this situation. Number 1, you are his father. So it is your job and obligation to take care of your child. But the second reason is because Jericho was known for having considerable trade and wealth. Jericho is a very prosperous city. And so instead of taking him into a place where he can possibly get the help that he needs, he leaves him by the roadside begging. My brothers and sisters, sometimes in life, the people that hurt us the most are the ones that are closest to us. And the people who we thought would be with us all the way, the people who we thought would be on our team, will at times leave us, and they will not care how we get the help that we need. And they will not care if we get to the place that we need to get. That some people are only in our life just because they think, well, if I can get close to them, I can get some of what they have. Because not everybody who is on our team is really for our team. And everybody who says, yeah, I'll be with you, will really be with you. And everybody who is going to act some way in your face will act the same way behind your back. But I would suggest to you that people have a bad reputation of telling you one thing and then acting a totally different way, which is why we need to be careful on who we let be in our circle. Be careful on who you let be a part of your life. Because just because you have a lot of so-called friends or family members, it does not make you immune from experiencing betrayal. Oh, that everybody at one point in time will experience betrayal. Malcolm X was betrayed by the NOI. Freddie Gray was betrayed by police. Black people have been betrayed by America. And most of all, Jesus was betrayed by Judas. But no matter how many people may leave us or forsake us, I came to Oak Grove with some good news this morning. We have a God who's promised us that he will never leave us, never forsake us. And in times we feel as if we are all by ourselves. In times we feel as if nobody is watching our back. There's a God who sits high and who looks down low, who has promised to never leave us, who has promised to always be by our side. And maybe I'm talking to somebody here. You felt as if you were all alone. You felt as if you could not make it. You felt like throwing in the towel. But I want to let you know that God is right by your side. You don't have to worry about people leaving you. If God is for you, who can be against you? If God is watching over you, if God is making ways, if God is providing, I don't care if you leave me. Go right ahead. I'll open the door for you because I have a God who is right by my side. Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 24 says, one who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruin. but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother.
Yes.
So the reason why I cannot turn down is because when man has left me, it is Christ who has comforted me. When people have turned their backs on me, Christ is the one who stayed constant in my life. And when I couldn't depend on this person and that person, I could always get down on my knees and say, Father, I stretch my hands to thee. No other help I know. And thou would do yourself for me. Where shall I go? So let me encourage some of the young persons here today. You're worried about people walking out on you. You're worried about people accepting you. But baby, if Christ accepts you, then that's all that matters. If he has a think of you, don't worry about what other folks say. The reason number two why we can't turn down is because there is hope in a hopeless situation. Verse 47 says, when he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to shout, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. If you pay attention to what Bartimaeus said, he did not cry out for his sight. All he cries out for in the early part of our text this morning is for Jesus to have mercy on him. Now, young people, this is very unusual for us because I know that if Jesus had that Xbox One that I needed, I would definitely be crying out for no mercy. I'd be crying out to get what I needed, amen. That if Jesus had what I really wanted and what I really desired, I wouldn't be crying out for anything other than what I really wanted. But beloved, the reason why Bartimaeus cries out for his sight is because he understands that the Messiah's mercy is far better than his mess. And so when he examined his options and he saw that, yes, I'm in a rut, but Jesus can bring me out. All he could do was say, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. And maybe I'm talking to somebody right now. You find yourself in a place that you do not want to be, but Jesus' mercy will meet you at your mistake. That every time you feel as if you are all alone, Jesus' mercy will come to your rescue. You do know what mercy is. Mercy is God withholding from us what we so rightfully deserve. And maybe I'm talking to somebody. You've had to experience some mercy because you said some things, you've done some things wrong, but oh, God was merciful. That's why Jeremiah said in Lamentations chapter 3, morning by morning, new mercies I see. Great is thy faithfulness. When I needed God to show me mercy, when I needed God to show me grace, He was right there with me to give me what it is I really need. So this shows us, beloved, that our prayer should not always be, Lord, give me this, and Lord, give me that. Our prayer shouldn't always be, Lord, I want this amount, and Lord, I want that amount. But every now and then, we just need to say, Lord, have mercy. That whenever we find ourselves in places that we shouldn't be, Lord, have mercy. When I don't want to have to deal with this person, when I don't feel like talking to this person, and they call my phone number, Lord, have mercy. When I don't feel like taking that text on Tuesday, Lord, have mercy. It's not that I'm calling his name in vain, but if you really knew what some of us were really going through, you'd be saying, Lord, have double your mercy. Every last one of us will come to some moment in life where only his mercy will get us through. I would suggest to you that there's more than just a spiritual reason for why Bartimaeus is crying out for mercy. But there is also a cultural reason. Because you see, being born blind was considered to be a curse from God. As depicted for us in John chapter 9 and verse 2, when the disciples asked Jesus, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? So instead of him first shouting out for him to receive his sight, he cries out for mercy because he thinks that Jesus will not have any sympathy towards his condition, and because he feels as if Jesus will be limited to what people have to say about him. But aren't you glad that Jesus will ignore what people have to say about you, and he will get you the help that you need? That's why we say he looks beyond our faults, and he sees every last one of our needs. That when people were calling us this and that, and when people said you weren't qualified, you shouldn't get the job, God moved them out of the way, and he got to you. And at the level of the people, you may not be at the Oak Grove Missionary Baptist Church right now, but oh, God ignored man's disapproval and approval of us and got us to the place stop reading John chapter 9 at verse 2, because you might cry just at verse 2. But go ahead on to John chapter 9 and verse 3, because Jesus said, neither this man sin nor his parents, but this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him. Can I talk to some of you young person here? You may be going through a trial, you may be going through a tribulation, but God's word is going to be displayed in you. God's glory is going to be displayed in you. That's why I can testify. God knows the plans that he has for me. Plans to prosper me and not to harm me. To give me a future and what is the hope, Oak Grove, that this man finds? I am not an expert theologian, and I know that your pastor could have really dug deep into this text and found the hope that he found, that this man sees. And I know that there are many great experts who can tell you better than I can the hope that he finds. But after rereading this text over and over again, the hope that he finds is Jesus. Because Jesus is the only one who can provide to him what he really needed. Let's examine this man's options again. His father has left him. He's on the roadside, and now he's begging. So Jesus shows up, and he says, well, since my father has left me, and now I'm at the roadside, and now I'm begging, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hill from which cometh my help. And I want you to know that the help doesn't come from the boss. It doesn't come from the pastor. All my help comes from the Lord. Is there anybody in here who can testify? I'm not always going to depend on people, but I will depend on my God. I will trust in the name of the Lord. That's why we have to sing it. My hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. I dare not trust the sweetest way, but I'm going to lean on Jesus' name. But this is my favorite part. On Christ, the solid rock I stand. All the ground. That Jesus is my hope. And I couldn't find hope in anybody else. He showed up in my situation, and he gave to me what I need. Now, the third reason why we can't turn down is because we can survive distraction. Watch verse 48. For it says, many rebuked him and told him to be quiet. But he shouted all the more, Son of David, have mercy on me. Sometimes in life, when we are focused on getting what it is we really need, it can be easy for us to get distracted. And we can easily lose sight of what's really important to us in life. And one of the most difficult things we can endure while trying to make it in life is opposition. When people will try to throw us off course, knock us for a loop, and strip us of everything that gives God praise in our lives. We will all get there, or we all have been there, when people have tried to mess us up, and they sought to destroy us and tear us down. If you pay attention to the text, beloved, Bartimaeus wasn't bothering anybody. He was minding his own business. And then the people who were with Jesus are now trying to stop somebody from coming to Jesus. I want to say that just one more time. The people who go to church, the people who know what's going to be in the bulletin, the people who can tell you who's going to be preaching, are now trying to stop others from participating in the worship experience. It's amazing to me how church people can blame the world for not coming to church, but then they don't want to invite anybody. But if you're going to really be with Jesus, if you're going to really identify yourself as somebody who has a relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ, they can't block me from coming because I don't look like you. They can't tell me, well, you can't come because you're not this and you're not that. I'm just as welcome to come to Christ as you are, and you can't block me. But not only did they try to keep him from coming to Jesus, but Bartimaeus now did not expect this to happen to him. He hears that Jesus is passing by, and he hears the crowd that is with Jesus. And Bartimaeus is this blind man. He can't see a thing. He's minding his own business, and he is blindsided with people telling him to shut up and be quiet because he don't want nothing to do with you. Isn't it true, beloved, how sometimes in life we can deal with problems that come straight out of nowhere, that we did not expect this to happen to us. We knew that we would run into some problems, but we did not know that these would be the kind of problems we come into. You know how it is, young people, when you go and it has pop quiz on the board and you forgot to do the homework. But we did not expect this to happen to you, because life has a funny way of dealing you a bad hand that you did not need and that you did not want. But I will encourage you that you have the power to survive destruction, because with Christ all things are possible. With Jesus Christ you can know that he has something in store for me if I keep my eyes on him. That's why the Apostle Paul said, I press towards the mark of the prize of the high calling of God, which is in Christ Jesus. Jesus said, whoever puts his or her hand to the plow and looks back is not fit for the kingdom of God. I've come too close to give up now. I may have some problems, but I'm close. I'm closer than when I was yesterday. I may have some issues, but I'm getting closer. I may have some doubts, but I'm getting closer. And if I just keep my eyes on the prize, if I just keep looking at Jesus, I won't sink and I won't fall out. But if I just keep holding on to the master's hand, I know that I will come out of this. Can I tell somebody right now, if you just keep focusing on Jesus, if you can just keep leaning and depending on Jesus, you will get to the place that you need to get. But all you have to do is trust in him. So the text says, even though they kept trying to shut him down, he turned up. He says, Son of David, have mercy on me. You have to learn how to ignore the people who are trying to block you. Ignore the people who are trying to stop you, because they can't do anything for you. Don't let people cloud your view of God, but you ought to know him for yourself. You ought to know he is a healer for yourself. I can't keep living off of grandmama's God. I've got to have a God for myself, and so that he can do for me, but no other power. I have to leave now. But the fourth and final reason why we can't turn down is because Jesus responds to faith.
Yes, sir.
Let me read to you verses 49 to 52 so I can go back to Charlotte. The text says Jesus stopped and said, call him. So they called to the blind man, cheer up, on your feet. He's calling you. Throwing his cloak aside, he jumped to his feet and came to Jesus. What do you want me to do for you? Jesus asked him. The blind man said, Rabbi, I want to see. Go, said Jesus. Your faith has healed you. Immediately, he received his sight and followed Jesus along the road. People can definitely be wishy-washy sometimes. Young people, watch this. They just told him to shut up. And now they're telling him to get up. That you know, what I found out is that God can even use your enemies to bless you. That God can even use your haters to promote you. They may be unaware of it, but every time you encounter a hater, don't try to knock them out, but say, thank you so much for your hate. I appreciate you for your hate. If it weren't for your hate, I wouldn't know how gifted I am. If it weren't for your hate, I wouldn't know how talented I am. That God will use your haters to remind you of how blessed you are. So thank you for saying I suck. Thank you for saying I can't do it. I just appreciate you. I'm looking forward to it next week, because God is going to use you to be my blessing. That's why the song says, Thou prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. The reason why some of you may have come in here asking, well, God, why is it that you haven't delivered me from my enemies? Because God wants your enemies to watch you come out. God wants your enemies to watch you come out of your situation. That's why he can't all of a sudden exclude you, and he can't have you all by yourself. But God wants to let the one who told you you can't do it to watch you do it. As that goes, another thing that is amazing about what happens in this text is that this is a large crowd with Jesus. But Jesus stops when he hears Bartimaeus call. Not because somebody told him to stop, but because Jesus recognizes the faith that he has. I can imagine empty. But Jesus stopped Bartimaeus because there was something about Bartimaeus. There was something unique about Bartimaeus. There was something great about Bartimaeus that caused Jesus to say, stop. You're getting me. And I love how he said, Rabbi, I want to see you. And Jesus said, you want to see? Go ahead, little boy. Your faith has healed you. I got to get out of here. But I want to ask you a question. Turn down for what? He's a healer. Why would I turn down? He's a